We're back. The best of food and wine with Anthony Gismondi and Kasey Wilson, live from the Wines of Canada stage at the 2017 Vancouver International Wine Festival. Now, here's Tony and Kasey.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Kasey Wilson.
We're just getting going here. We're still going, right?
We're still going. This is the first night, Tony. We've got 2 more to go.
We are. Canada's the theme this year. It's year 39, and there are a lot of Canadian wineries in the room, including a lot from BC. And our guest now is from Noble Ridge Vineyard and Winery, which is up in the Okanagan Falls region. Leslie D'Andrea joins us, co-owner.
Yes, indeed.
Great to have you. And a young man I haven't met yet, Benoit Gauthier,
nice to be
a winemaker.
Yes.
Winemaker, vineyard, all things.
All things. You're getting a break.
We're pretty clever that way.
Yeah. How are the two of you? Good?
Just great.
Yeah.
Just
are you
great.
enjoying
Thank you.
the experience in the room, or?
Wonderful. And we've both gotten a chance to get around and taste a little bit, but meet lots of people.
Yeah.
Ben, was this your first year at the festival?
I've been here in 2009, so it's my second year.
Oh, my. You must have been 12 then.
I look young, but...
You do look young.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've given him a few gray hairs, but we're doing okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, why don't we set the stage for our listeners who maybe if they don't know anything about Noble Ridge Vineyard, where you are and what's happening there, how long you've been there, and that sort of thing.
Certainly. We, I'm a little biased. I think we're in a real gem of the area in BC, Okanagan Falls.
Yeah.
And so we are, on Oliver Ranch Road overlooking Vaso Lake. We're 34 acres, 20 vines, and something a little bit unusual, we grow all of our own grapes, and so something we value really highly, making sure that they're...
You're a true estate winery.
We are a true estate winery, absolutely. And as I think you know, Tony, when we've talked before, we really, it's all about making this beautiful wine, but what we've learned, it's actually all about the experience, and so we are in this beautiful part of the world, and so we're working really hard to bring people, everyone in, whether it's through price points or come in our door or come pick grapes with us. We're really trying to encourage and involve anyone and everyone in the wine grape growing.
And you have a lot of visitors, so you see a lot of people, but it's a spectacular place. I think it's I don't know, Benoit, you know other regions, but it's a very special place. Even Okanagan Falls, in its position in the Okanagan, is great.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere you go in the valley, the scenery is beautiful, climate is beautiful, but Okanagan Falls that's something special. It's about, for the great growing region, it's, in my personal view, is one of the best in the valley because we're warm enough to ripen the big reds and just cool enough to keep the acidity and the freshness. So I think Okanagan Falls is one of the upcoming sub-region in the valley for sure.
Okay, well, we're going to open with a sparkling wine. There's been so much talk about it in terms of, interest in sparkling wine. Sales are growing in sparkling wine. And now Noble Ridge has one.
Yeah. And thank you for bringing it. My favorite. I love it.
Well, it's called The One.
Yeah.
A few reasons behind that, but the very first time we saw our property was 010101.
Yeah.
And the other reason is, I'd like to say, here's to you. You're the one.
Yes, right.
So it's a full-bodied, traditional method, approximately 2/3 Chard, 1/3 Pinot.
Wow.
What else can you, 3.5 years sur lease?
Yeah, so... Actually, our first vintage was made in 2009, and we discouraged the first vintage after a year and a half, but we kept some cases aside to see how well it would age in the bottle.
Right.
And after a few years of trying them every 6 months, we found out that about at the 3-year point is where our sweet spot is. It means where we get a really good balance between the fruit and the yeast characteristic on the wines. So this one was discouraged after 40 months in a bottle.
And it's more expensive to grow a sparkling wine.
There's a lot more labor involved, so the bottle gets touched maybe 7, 8, 9 times before it reaches the case, then delivered to the customer. So there's a lots of hands-on efforts, lots of time spent making the wine, but also storing the wine. So there's a lot involved in making sparkling wine.
This wine is delicious.
It is.
I haven't had it before. Yeah, wow.
I have
Very
to get
impressive.
better at that and get that to you.
Yeah, you do. Well, we've had those talks too.
What is the price on this sparkling wine?
This is at about $34 to the consumer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're incredibly proud of it, and we think that we can stand
nice
that up
package
against.
too.
Thank you.
I would. The only thing I would say is you should say when it's disgorged or how long it's on the lees, because it's, people want to know that, especially people spending that kind of money. So it's cool. I mean, you can taste it, but it's very nice.
Our production is pretty small, so we've been selling it mainly at a wine shop, and we get really good contact, really good feedback from the people. So we discuss, we explain, and we bring the people in the cave, in the barrel room, and really explain the whole process. And people love to see it because it gives them really a good attachment to the wine and the whole sensory experience.
So you have Chardonnay growing there. So what did you make a selection, or is it how are you deciding what will go in this and what goes in the Chardonnay and the still wine versus the sparkling wine?
It's about the small plots themselves. Like there's lots of variation within our lands.
Yeah.
So I've been to Noble Ridge. This is my 7th year there, so I know the vineyard really well.
Yeah.
So with time, I've learned to really choose specific plots that I know I'm going to give me the best characteristics in terms of development. So for a sparkling wine, Chardonnay is going to be picked at around, let's say, 18 bricks.
Yep.
Pretty good acidity. So I know exactly which plot is going to deliver me the most flavor, but within these parameters. Mm-hmm. So it's just about experience in the vineyard and knowing your grapes and knowing your development. Then I can make the best decision in which grape I'm going to pick and when.
Does it help you make a better Chardonnay too when you, not? Are they completely different?
It does in some ways, because I can reselect my fruit to the type of wine that I want to make. So I have I think 7 acres of Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And then we make 3 different Chardonnay plus a sparkling wine. So I have a lot of grape Chardonnay to play with to make different style of wine. So I will keep, let's say, my most flavorful, more concentrated Chardonnay for my reserve or King's Ransom wine as my Stony Knoll, which is an oak Chardonnay. I'm going to pick the Chardonnay that tastes a little bit more on the mineral side, because it will be crisp and mineral.
Yeah.
So it's really about selecting the great specific grapes for the specific one that I want to make.
And Benoit, how difficult is it to grow really premium quality Canadian wine?
It's pretty difficult. I mean, everything you do, you could do something wrong, and that will affect the end product. So what you need to do is it's really about the vineyard and the quality of the grapes that you grow. So every season is different, so you really need to know what you need to do in the vineyard to manage a canopy to achieve your goals. So some of the years I'm going to leave a little bit more crop because I know that it's really hot, and then if I tint too much a crop, then I'm going to lose my acidity, sugar is going to go too high. So it's about balancing your crop load, managing your canopy, sometimes leaving a little bit more leaf to protect from sunburn, sometimes removing a little bit more because you need more phenolic ripeness. So it
takes experience, right?
Yeah, it's all about experience in the vineyard. It's about knowing your vineyard, knowing your location, knowing your year, and what to do to achieve your final goal is in terms of producing your best quality grapes.
And then sharing that with his team. He has one gal that's been with us for 13 years, and so she, there's, all of that knowledge, and then inspiring and then sharing it with the team too is a really key piece.
Well, Leslie, you've been there from the start. How would you say, have you changed your focus or the same focus, or what? How has it evolved for you at Noble Ridge?
Well, it was fun listening to you answer that, because in terms of growing premium quality grapes, for us it's been simple in the sense that we knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to grow premium quality grapes. So it actually eliminates lots of things. We're going to do it this way, we're going to trellis this way, we're going to hire certain people. And I'd say change for me, a couple of things. It's more this whole experience thing, and wanting to, as we talk about some of the vine dining and stuff with chefs that come in, or watching people harvest and come with us and just light up.
So
just
people can join you to do that.
Yeah, this is Benoit and his team will have people come for a couple of hours, and he'll train them to pick grapes for a couple. Some people like to do it about 15 minutes and then start drinking wine. Some were pulling out of the vines. Come on. And then we do this lovely lunch, and all of our winemaker staff sit amongst the guests, and that's a nice thing too, because the staff kind of are valid. People ask them good questions and see that they know. They know what's going on.
And what are some of the guests' favorite things to do when they visit you?
Walking through the vines. We are right in the middle of this lovely, beautiful world, and our particular site's quite intimate. We're just a little bit closer to Vaso. We are literally surrounded by our vines, so we've created a picnic area in there, and people can bring a picnic, or we'll create one for them, and then we'll walk if they want. We're around. We have either our staff or us, and we'll walk through the vines, and that's we're doing more and more of that.
And you do a harvest work day. I mean, Benoit, you're pretty busy during the harvest. How did you let that happen?
Well, lucky enough, we're a fairly small winery, so we produce in the surrounding of 5,000 cases, so we're in a small, medium size. And we grow about 50% red and 50% whites, so we're kind of spread out in our harvesting. So I'm not harvesting every day, so I can kind of play around a little bit with my harvest times. So it just makes it easy to accommodate, say, people coming in. So usually when we harvest, I might harvest the Pinot Noir one year or maybe the Merlot next year. But I have enough leeway and time that I can just actually, you know what, today we're going to spend the 3 days to harvest our Pinot Noir, and we're going to invite our guests. And actually, we have quite a bit of guests, so sometimes we have 20 people, sometimes we have 30 people, so it goes quite fast with all these people. So it's about just spending the time with them, and the more they learn and the more they appreciate wine, because
it's very true. And people are interested in that now.
Genuinely. We're learning even at our front door now in the shop that we're making sure we greet them. We have someone out at the door with the glass. People appreciate that. They want to be part of it. They want to feel connected to it.
I think they want a different experience at every winery because it's different. So that's I think you're onto a good thing.
I'm coming for the Stampede breakfast.
Yes,
just so you know.
That's tons of fun.
We're going to run out of time. You brought a Pinot Noir. Let's talk a bit about that.
Yeah.
This is the 2014 Reserve.
Yeah.
So what does Reserve mean at Noble Ridge?
Reserve is our second tier wines, so for some wines we're going to do 3 tiers. So we're going to have our basic wines at, let's say, $20 price point,
right.
And then we have our Reserve at about the $30 price point. And then in some of the best years, we don't do it every year, but we might create a King's Ransom, which is our higher tier.
Right.
So for our Pinot Reserve is what would be my second tier Pinot Noir. So in the process, so usually what I do is I would do lots of small batch fermentation on my Pinot Noir. So we have 4 acres, 4 different clones, and I might harvest the Pinot Noir in 7 different batches. So I put everything separately in the barrel and then let the wine age for 1 year. So only after 1 year I'm gonna start making my blends. So in terms of what specific wine I want to make, so for the Pinot Noir Reserve, I want one that is deep, complex, well balanced in oak. So I'm gonna select the specific barrels to make up that blend here.
And could you say there's an Okanagan Falls style for Pinot Noir now, or not, or what?
I think so. I think Okanagan Falls, in one region, I think in the valley anyway, it's probably my favorite spot for growing Pinot Noir, and I've seen it with our neighbors too.
Yeah.
We are just, I think, in the perfect amount of growing degree days to achieve really good, complex, flavorful, fruitful wines. If you're too much south down in the Soyuz, you lose too much. Yeah. If you're too high, you make good Pinot Noir, but it's more on the leaner side. Mm-hmm. So I think Okanagan Falls is
it's kind of a fleshy Pinot, or it has a bit more grip in the mouth, I guess.
Yes, and this one also comes a little bit from our trellis systems. I grow a Pinot Noir on a Geneva double curtain, which is a totally different trellis system. So it takes a lot of time to install and to manage the cabbage during the summertime, but it allows me to grow a fruit with smaller berries, which gives me a lot more flavor and a lot more color in my Pinot. Mm-hmm. So that's why this one is so big, is so rich, and a little bit more dependent on the structure.
The Reserve Pinot 2014 costs, or is what would the price be?
$26 to the consumer.
And the best way to find your wines? I mean, I know people can go online to the winery.
Yes, absolutely.
Also,
all the smaller private retail stores, come visit us.
And some of the restaurants in town as well.
Absolutely. We're just meeting with Bishops, which will provide.
You have a beautiful property.
Thank you, Kasey. Kasey, well, come visit. Can't we? We'll have you guys picking grapes before you know it.
Exactly.
I like grapes for about 15 minutes.
You might
You'll be in the 15 minutes.
You might regret that.
I actually find it's kind of like painting for me. It's soothing, you know.
Oh, it absolutely.
It's
like yoga for me. It's very green. I love the green work. It's absolutely. You need a little bit of your brain, not all of it. It's
pruning to me is one of the best jobs ever. I mean, it's a hard job, but it's satisfying.
Important job. Absolutely.
Take your time and enjoy.
Yeah. Benoit Gauthier, winemaker at Noble Ridge. Thanks so much for coming in and talking to us today. And Leslie D'Andrea, co-owner. We shouldn't forget the other side of the family, but so are you ready to go for the season, or more or less open for visitors, and how does all that work?
Well, we're there on the property, so come anytime, and give a call, but we open full steam ahead on May 1 till Thanksgiving, so Easter to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the show as the theme country. You're going to be overrun in the next 2 days.
Super. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have fun.
Thank you. Well, that's it for us today. Believe it or not, we are done. I started at 8:30. Casey, what were you doing? You were like, I don't know, sleeping?
No, are you kidding? I was up working on the show.
We'll be back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We'll be here live from the floor of the Vancouver National Wine Festival, year 39. You've been listening to the Best of Food and Wine on CL 650. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm Tony Gismondi.
And I'm Kasey Wilson, reminding you, compromises are for relationships, not wine.
That's it for today's show. Tune in next Thursday night at 6 for Tony and Kasey's Best of Food and Wine.